So I thought, given that it's our final President's Club as standalone Nimble storage, it would be really appropriate to not just look back on the past year, but to look back a little bit further and talk a little bit about the start of the company and how we built what is today Nimble Storage. And so I thought, who is the finest mind in file systems?
No, not David Gwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the inventor of Gwinsel, Dave Gwynn. I'm actually realizing that would be a terrible idea. Sit down. We actually have a special guest with us this evening. He flew in this afternoon, and I was just informed that it's his first President's Club. It's not you. We know you've been here before. You might not be back, though. So, a rookie at President's Club, please help me welcome to the stage our founder, Varun Mehta. First off, before we make him talk and hula dance, they told you about that, right? First and foremost, on behalf of everyone here at Nimble Storage, thank you from the bottom of our heart for starting the company.
Yeah!
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to all of you for building and contributing to the best experience of my life.
You got it. Thank you. So I thought, I'm going to not stand by that. I thought it would be interesting to talk a little bit about the start of the company because I'm sure some of you are aware, but maybe not everyone is aware. On day one, Nimble Storage as it exists today was not the original idea, right?
Right. So in 2007, when we got started, it seemed like a crazy idea to go build a storage array that would compete with EMC and NetApp and Dell and everybody else. And the reason was, at that time, there were a bunch of upstarts. There was Isilon and 3PAR and Compellent, and they were all struggling. none of them had done very well. And so the idea to go up and be yet another array startup that was struggling, that was not going to be something that we could use to get money. So we looked at this and said, hey, Flash is here, and we're going to do something special with Flash. But how do we get money to build a platform? So what we decided to do was go with a two-stage approach. The first stage, we told the VCs, is going to be this box that sits in front of an EMC or a NetApp and speeds it up. And there was a company at the time called Gear 6 that was trying to do this with DRAM, but very expensive. And so we said, hey, with Flash, we can do a whole lot better than that. And then after that product is successful, then we will build a Flash-based array and compete directly with EMC and NetApp. Now, the problem was that the VCs, they loved the first idea, and we found out a little bit later that they hated the second idea.
So you did the first round, the raise,
Right.
funded by some VCs.
That's
built
right.
the first product. Feels like that show Silicon Valley on HBO.
Yeah, actually, it was interesting. So Umesh and I got together actually almost exactly 10 years ago in 2007, and talked about building, figuring out the pitch to the VCs. The first product, the cashier, as we called it, and then the second product. And we spent the whole summer basically working on that. And then in the fall, we took it to the VCs. And actually, our pitch is available still on the web. Jim Getz wrote a terrific little blog about it. So if you ever want to look at the pitch that got Nimble started, search for Getz blog Nimble, and you'll see it down, toward the bottom, because there's lots of other stuff in there. And our 17-page, very simple pitch is over there. So to give a lot of credit to Sequoia and to Excel, once Jim looked at our presentation, we showed it to him on a Friday evening just after Thanksgiving. He called us up on Saturday and said, I'm going to put you in front of our board on Monday morning. And I was totally taken by surprise because these things just don't happen. We thought we would take 6 months to raise money. And so so we had a busy weekend, and Monday morning at 9 o'clock, we're sitting in front of the Sequoia board, and this is the scariest meeting of my life. There were like multiple billionaires in the room because Sequoia is the #1 VC in Silicon Valley. They have funded Google, Apple, Cisco, NetApp, Sun. The list just goes on and on. And so it was just like awe-inspiring to stand in front of these guys and talk. And I thought they would laugh us out of the room, but they didn't. At the end of the day, they told us that, hey, we're in. Jim Getz called. Jim Getz was an up-and-coming VC at the time. He had not had his major home runs, but then he did with us as well as Palo Alto Networks. And of course, his biggest home run was with, it was WhatsApp, the 19 billion sale to Facebook. So he really made a big mark on the industry.
That's a pretty cool story.
Right.
You realize the next company that gets funded by them is going to say, these guys financed Google and Palo Alto and Nimble Storage.
I'm happy we're part of that. So I'll tell you about the next stage that happened after that. So we had our money. They gave us $9.5 million based on that 17-page PowerPoint deck. And the first thought
what is that per slide?
First thought is, should we run for Mexico, right? But we started working on this. Now, the interesting thing is, 6 months after we got started, both NetApp and EMC announced that they were going to integrate Flash into their products. And this was bad news for us because we said, okay, we're going to have a separate box with Flash sitting in front of NetApp or EMC. That's not going to be cost effective compared to just putting a little bit of Flash in the box. And so we went to, well, actually at a board meeting that was coming up 6 months after we got started. We went to them and said, we have to pivot and go to the second product. And I told you about the best and the scariest meeting of my life. This was actually the worst meeting of my life because I realized you don't spring this at a board meeting. You have to like divide and conquer.
So you're saying they weren't like, cool, you have our 19 million, do whatever you want?
No. So in fact, very much the opposite. So one of the reactions from a board member who's no longer on our team was, is it time to fold the tent? Because we think competing directly with the big guys is going to be suicidal. You're never going to sell any arrays against EMC or a NetApp or a Dell.
Sounds like a smart guy.
That's why he isn't on our board anymore. But it took us a year to convince them. And so we kept working on our original product because we did not want to pull the plug on the company, all the while trying to convince the board that the array was the right thing to do. So the first product, we actually built it and delivered it to beta. We had 10 beta customers. Matt Jacobs was our first sales guy, and he got us 10 beta customers, did a tremendous job. And at that point, we were able to pull the plug. So it was a very strange 1 year where a few of us, Dan Leary, Umesh, I, Ajay Singh, the four of us knew that we were trying to kill this product that we were building, and the rest of the company was busy building the product. But after that year, the board agreed, and Suresh was on the board, which was very nice for us at the time, and we were able to switch. And so I really have to have a lot of respect for the team because within a year, we were in beta, and we just built up a tremendous team. This is one of the things I love about Nimble, that we got just these amazing folks, not just in engineering, but in sales also. Our initial team, Mike Munoz, just tremendous leader of sales. Dan Leary was, of course, a tremendous leader of marketing. And our initial team, Matt Jacobs did a tremendous job, Jim Brewer did a tremendous job, Paul Malcolm down in the south did a tremendous job. We had a great team to start with, and that's when things took off. And so the first quarter, we looked at what NetApp and Data Domain did, and we said, okay, if they had done in the region of 200,000 in their first full quarter of sales, so we set our goal for $600,000. We ended up doing $1.9 million. So just blew away our goals. And that's when I realized we had something on our hands. At that time, Suresh was on our board. He wasn't with the company yet. And I knew that I didn't know the first thing about running sales. I said, we got to get real leadership here. And so we asked Suresh. It took us a little while, but he joined in March of 2011. And the rest, as they say, is history. It was a tremendous experience.
That's amazing. So real quick, I think it would be interesting to do this. If you've been at Nimble for over 4 years, stand up. These are the folks that took a gamble with their careers, because 4 years ago, nobody knew the difference between Nimble and Nimbus. They know now. Oh, hold on, stay standing. So sit down if you've been here less than 5 years. These are the real OGs. Everybody standing, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look at who's standing and pick their brain later tonight. There's some really good stories from sales in the early years. What's that?
6 years.
Oh, you want to keep going? All right, if you've been here, sit down if you've been here less than 6 years. It's weird that that request came from over there.
Right. Thank you.
Nice job, guys. So Varun gave me permission to interview him up here, and I figure that in the spirit of the Nimble culture of candor and transparency, and also because he can't fire me anymore, Varun, we got this great team, this great product. Why the hell did you sell the company?
We thought about this a lot. Actually, the thing that really took me by surprise, I didn't see this coming, was EMC getting acquired by Dell. Did who here thought that might happen? Any show of hands? All right, you should be picking stocks. But it was a surprise to see EMC throw in the towel, and looking at where things were headed with the cloud, with this top-to-bottom convergence, it really felt that the industry was heading in the way where anybody who had a full stack of storage, servers, and networking was going to be in a much stronger position than standalone storage companies. And so that's what got us thinking, and fortunately, the board agreed. So when HP came calling, we really took them very, very seriously. And we'll see over the next year or two whether the call was the right one. Over these past 6 months, it certainly appears it was the right one. If we look at what's happened to Nutanix and Pure, but we'll see over the next year if that call still works.
You know, it's interesting. I was kind of doing some research and trying to gauge us versus our peer group, and I found that in my lifetime, and I'm pretty young, so this isn't a long period of time, there have been 910 startups that had some significant amount of funding, right? And of those 910, only 33 IPO'd. And I think some of you guys have seen this data. Somebody sent it out the other week. So only 3% of companies have IPO'd in the last 39 years out of everything that's been funded. What's even more interesting about that is if you look at the companies funded per year, the peak was 2003. There were 97 companies funded. Last year, there were less than 10. Do you think that has to do with kind of the shift in hardware infrastructure? Is it not an interesting space for startups anymore?
So I do think that hardware infrastructure is a difficult space now just because of the threat from the cloud. On the other hand, I think within a large company, it's going to turn out to be okay. And the model I'm using is the airline model. So, back 10 years ago, we had a lot more airlines. There was Northwest and US Air and all of these airlines, and nobody was making money. And we had a tremendous amount of consolidation. Now we have 3 airlines, and they treat the passengers like crap, but they're all making money. And I think that's where we're going to be with infrastructure. We're going to have, I think it's going to be Dell and HP, and there's going to be a sort of an agreement between the two. They'll charge decent prices, make decent money, and that's where we're going to be.
Not actually sure that's legal.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so last question for you, Varun, and I know it's on everybody's mind here. You sticking around?
For the time being, yes. I think we have a great opportunity. I think this next year is going to be possibly the most interesting year for all of you guys. I hope this deal opens up many doors for us. doors that and we're starting to see some indications of that even with Q1. And I feel a responsibility actually to the guys, certainly all the people we've hired, to make sure that I can do what I can to ensure that this is a good transition for us. So the combination of the two, great opportunity, and making sure we have a good transition. I want to stick around for that and just make sure that works well.
You're here. Any final comments?
No, I think, I do think one of the things that we wanted to do here was proliferate our technology. It's a bittersweet thing. One of the goals we had when we went public was, hey, maybe we could be a great standalone company that would stay that way for a long time. But circumstances do change. It was hard to predict that the cloud would come up. And I think under the circumstances, certainly compared to as I've talked about Pure and Nutanix, I think we've had a decent outcome. And so I'm looking forward to this next chapter. I think we can get to $1 billion in revenue and keep growing from that. The history of storage acquisitions has been great. So I'm happy that we've come to a good place here with our technology.
Thank you so much for everything that you've done. Thank you for coming out. Congratulations on your first club. Good luck making it again next year.
Thank you. And thank you for everybody for your sweat and all the work you put in, and thanks to the spouses for tolerating this. Thank you. You've helped build a tremendous company, and thanks very much for that.
Am I still on? I'd like to ask 4 people to come up and join me on stage. Pam, Mary, John. Well, actually 3 people because Liz flew home. Where are you guys? Probably should have told you before this so you were closer to the stage, but I wanted it to be a surprise. So these 3, on top of their day jobs, for the last several months have been putting together this event. 4 people, literally with full-time day jobs, have put on this event. So, you guys have been sitting in a hot cabana for 3 days while we've been getting pampered. So we thought we would send you guys to a nice spa close to headquarters. So when you get back, you can get a little pampering yourself. So I'll let you distribute that. Give it to Liz too. Don't steal it, John. I know you. Thank you again. It's a great event. Can't thank them enough for putting this on and all the past previous clubs as well. So I just want to say a few more words, primarily because they gave me the mic and I'm not going to give it up until they pry it from my hands here. But first, again, I want to say thank you so much to all the President's Club winners, all the Nimble sales professionals out there. This is such a difficult job to do, and you guys do it so well. You make it look easy. I know it's not, but you make it look easy, and this trip is well-deserved reward and recognition. So first and foremost, congratulations to all our President's Club winners. And it's interesting. I know that the quota attainment speaks to how good of salespeople you are. But something occurred to me this week. There's another way that I can determine if someone is able to sell. And I think the thing that has occurred to me is that unanimously across the board all week, as I've met your spouses and partners and friends, I like them way better than you. I mean, I'm not kidding. Without exception, you guys outkicked your coverage by far. So when I say to the better halves out there, I truly mean to the better halves. I want to say thank you to all of you. give a round of applause for our guests. We couldn't do the job without your love and support, so thank you very much for that. I'd be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to thank my wife, Suzanne, sitting down there. You know, we've got 2 young kids at home, and I travel a ton. I think my office technically is seat 15A on Southwest. It's the exit row. And I can't imagine doing the job without you, so thank you, I love you. You know, I was sitting by the pool earlier today trying to figure out what the hell to say when I came up here and grabbed the mic, and I kind of had this realization that we've been listening to music throughout the entire week, and there's almost been this soundtrack to the week. It's a little Marley heavy for my taste, but it's been great, and it got me thinking about music, and I thought I'd share a story with you. 10 years ago, we got married, and we were trying to pick a song for our first dance at our wedding, as you do when you get married. Now, we're both kind of music fans, so I knew this was going to be kind of an important decision. And I know this will shock you, but I tend to like to debate things, and Suzanne is similar. So I knew that it was going to be a prolonged negotiation. So my opening offer, obviously, was Yellow Ledbetter by Pearl Jam. I mean, Pearl Jam's the best band on the face of the planet, and Yellow Ledbetter is a slow song. I'm not that good at dancing, so I figured it was great. Suzanne pointed out that even though the lyrics are borderline unintelligible, it's actually about a man whose brother died at war and he's wondering if he's gonna come home in a bag or a box. Touche, it might not be the most romantic song. So she countered with a song called Fidelity by Regina Spektor. Not sure if you're familiar with this song, but my response was, it's a wedding, it's not Lilith Fair. And then I started thinking about it, and we lived in California at the time, and we were in love. And I was thinking of the title Fidelity and other titles of songs that would be appropriate for the wedding. And obviously I had the winner, California Love by Tupac featuring Dr. Dre. Turns out prolific use of the F word also doesn't make for a very romantic first date. This went on for weeks. We went back and forth. We actually ended up making a mixtape of all the songs that we entertained. This is a true story, and we gave it to our guests at the wedding as a wedding favor. But when we finally thought of the song that ultimately became our song, I don't even remember who came up with the idea. It was like co-inception. I don't remember who came up with the idea for the song. But once she came up with it, I immediately agreed. And the song is called In My Life by the Beatles. Now, this is on the Rubber Soul album. John Lennon called it my first true major piece of work. Everything before this was glib and throwaway. And I think the reason that he felt that way about it is the song is a warm salutation to all the people and places in his life. And we love the song because we felt so lucky to have found one another, but the path that led us there, we were so grateful for it, right? We were so thankful for the people and places in our life, and I'm crying. All right. So we were so grateful for all the people and places in our lives that was the journey that brought us to where we were. And the reason that I mention this song is because as I think about our journey over the past, I've been here almost 5 years, Nimble Storage has been such a huge part of our lives. And hopefully it's been a huge part of your lives and a really positive. That was unexpected. All right, we can turn it down now. That's not gonna go well for anybody. Maybe Gwen will do it at Humble Market Kitchen at midnight tonight. No, so I think about the last 5 years and what Nimble Storage has meant to our family. And I think about how much I've grown. I've grown professionally, right? I started as a frontline manager in California, and now somehow I fooled him into giving me the mic on stage here at our final President's Club. I've grown personally. Our family has literally grown. Our second child, we actually thought about naming her Andaz Riley. Infer as you will. I've grown physically. I've grown in so many ways as a part of Nimble Storage, and I'm so grateful for those experiences. And I think this is an appropriate time to pause and reflect back on that journey for myself and for everyone here. And I think that when I look back on it, the most critical part of our experiences together are the relationships that we've built at this company. I've made friendships here that I know will transcend my time at Nimble Storage. They'll transcend my time in data storage and hardware infrastructure, which isn't gonna last that much longer. Just kidding. But I've seen so many bonds formed, and even new people that have come in over the past year have formed such close friendships. And I think it's because the culture that we've built at Nimble is so unique. We have shared values, we have shared ambitions. We really kind of see the world through the same lens. It's a bunch of humble warriors who are really smart, really good people, and recognize the same in your coworkers. And I couldn't be more proud to say that I was a part of this sales organization. It's the grittiest, coolest, best sales force I've ever had the honor of being in the trenches with. So for that, I thank you. Now, I feel the same way that Varun feels. I don't think our legacy is yet cemented. We still have work to do. When we go back next week, it'll be different, to be sure. But there's a lot of good that comes with it, and I'm committed to ensuring our legacy. Over the next 6 months, our job is to arm about 5,000 people to evangelize Nimble just 1/10 as well as we do. And if we do that job over the next 6 months, first of all, we're gonna make a shitload of money. Second of all, Nimble's gonna be $1 billion product line next year. And if that happens, our legacy is secure. Now, I'm committed to doing it as long as we can keep this crew together. I don't really care what logo's on my paycheck. I care about the solution I'm selling. Is it right for the clients? Can I feel good about putting my name on the proposal? I care about the people that I work with. I care that it's challenging work and that it's fun occasionally. And I care about the people that are around me. So if we can keep this going, I'm in for as long as you are. And listen, we'll take it one day at a time, right? This is the top performing sales team in the industry. No one here should have any concerns about whether HPE wants you to be there. They need you more than you need them. So let's make them earn our loyalty, just like we've made Nimble earn our loyalty. Yeah. So my final comments, raise a glass with me. Yeah. It's been one hell of a ride. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I love you all. I love you more. And to Nimble Storage, cheers. Now, we had to skimp on the budget a little bit, so we could only afford the hula dancers for 1 hour. But I don't want you to sit here in silence, so I thought I would just put somebody on the spot. Where's, do we have the Nimble's Got Talent winner anywhere?
Okay, this is the time when you guys start joining me in this, all right? So this is very interactive, just like I want all my presentations. I want you to get fit, you know, a little feedback. I want some feedback through this, okay? Day after day, I'm more confused. Yet I love all the light through the pouring rain. You know that's a game that I hate to lose. I'm feeling the strain. Ain't a shame. Oh, give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Boys, to free my soul, I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. think that I'm wasting time. I don't understand the things I do. The world outside looks so unkind. Now I'm counting on you to carry me through. Oh, give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. That's my ladies. Well, my mind is free, no melody can move me. When I'm feeling blue, the guitar's coming through to soothe me. Well, thanks for the joy that you've given me. Thank you, brother. I want you to know I believe in your song, rhythm and rhyme and harmony. You help me along, making me strong. Oh, give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Here we go, people. Give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. You got rhythm too, huh? Give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Last time now. Give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. To free my soul, I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. I love the brave folks that are already on the dance floor. You guys see it? You're attracted to it, you hit it, love it.
In something that was scheduled well before the acquisition and now has symbolism that I'm a little worried about, we're going to burn the Nimble logo. So give me a countdown. 3, well, no, just do it.